Welcome to Gas Ed. Today we will be discussing how to sign your first AI workflow client even if you have 0 followers. We are going to completely deconstruct the myth that you need to be some massive content creator, posting videos or grinding out long articles for months on end just to land paying clients in the AI automation space. It's simply not true.
Our agenda today is all about climbing the ladder of leverage. We'll start with the high-effort direct action of cold outreach, move into the high-trust psychology of referral engines, scale things up with the Trojan horse method, and then tie it all together into a clear 4-step roadmap.
Okay, let's dive into this. How do you actually land clients without a built-in audience? Look, content marketing is a fantastic way to build trust over the long haul. When someone binges your content for a year, they are practically sold before you ever even say hello. But honestly, what if you don't want to wait 12 whole months? What if you want paying clients this month? Well, you bypass the waiting game completely by utilizing direct sales tactics.
That brings us to method 1, cold outreach. Now, before you start firing off direct messages, you really need to face a somewhat harsh reality. You absolutely must have a proof of concept. Go do a small project for free. Help out a local salon. It really doesn't matter who. You just need to be able to confidently say, hey, I generated this specific result. Doing that instantly separates you from the absolute beginners.
Let's look at the numbers for a second. The average cold email gets a tiny 1 to 5% response rate. But if you highly personalize those emails, you can bump that right up to around 17%. Now, LinkedIn direct messages often sit between 10 and 25%, though. Yeah, they do take a bit more manual time per message. The secret here is not to try and be everywhere at once. Just pick 1 or 2 platforms so you don't spread yourself too thin. Oh, and a quick pro tip for finding leads. Use AI directories. Literally spend 10 minutes asking ChatGPT or Perplexity to find industry-specific databases for you, like a list of architects or business coaches. They're already perfectly filtered and ready to go. When it's actually time to write that message, keep your focus on 3 things: the problem, the outcome, and absolutely 0 tech jargon. I literally cannot stress this enough. Nobody cares if you built some complex 18-node automation using obscure APIs, Slack, and Notion. They really don't care. Business owners only care about the outcome. They want more leads, less manual work, fewer errors, and faster turnarounds. Keep it short and entirely focused on the real value you bring to their specific bottleneck.
Here is a totally counterintuitive approach that is a real game changer. Pitch a 2-minute Loom video. Never ever ask for a 30-minute call right out of the gate. Asking a busy stranger for half an hour of their day is a massive ask. So lower the friction. Let a short custom video do the heavy lifting for you. Just ask if you can send over a quick 2-minute clip explaining exactly how you'd help their specific business.
To make cold outreach actually work, you've got to embrace this magic number, 100. Volume negates luck. You should be aiming to send 100 targeted messages every single day. Look, even at a modest 5% reply rate, you're starting 5 real conversations daily. But to succeed here, you absolutely have to track everything systematically. Track the positive replies to find patterns in company size or industry, and definitely track the negative replies so you know exactly what isn't working.
So, cold outreach is your foundation. But now, let's move into a strategy that requires far less daily grinding.
Method 2 is referral engines. Now, what's really interesting about this strategy is that it taps into the fundamental way we operate as humans. Think about it. You are way more likely to check out a new restaurant because a friend raved about it than because you saw some random billboard, right? Well, that exact same psychology applies perfectly to B2B sales. Check this out. 92% of B2B buyers trust referrals from their network. In the AI space right now, business owners are totally overwhelmed. They know they need AI, but they have absolutely no idea who to trust yet. They want the reassurance that someone they respect has already taken a risk on a vendor and that it worked out beautifully. But here is the real tragedy of the referral game. Research shows that only 11% of salespeople actually ask for referrals, yet a staggering 91% of customers say they would gladly give one if they were just asked. That's a massive gap. Most beginners are literally leaving incredible revenue on the table just because they lack the courage to ask a happy client for an introduction. So how do we actually execute this? It's a simple 3-step rhythm. First, over-deliver on value. Build them a dashboard they didn't ask for, or hand over flawless documentation. Second, timing is everything. Don't ask immediately. Give it about a month, then schedule a performance review to review the KPIs. Prove to them the automation has driven real ROI. Finally, step 3. Once they are thrilled with the data, ask the golden question.
Do you know any other business owners who might need AI automation to solve similar bottlenecks?
Referrals are powerful, sure, but they still require you to land that initial client yourself. What if you want to skip the line entirely?
Welcome to Method 3, the Trojan Horse. This is the ultimate, highest leverage strategy if you are starting entirely from scratch.
The core philosophy here is brilliant. Instead of spending years building your own audience and authority, you just borrow someone else's. You do this by partnering with established businesses like marketing agencies, law firms, and consultants. These folks have spent years building deep trust with clients who are now practically begging for AI solutions. But those agencies are scrambling because they don't actually know how to fulfill that demand. And that is exactly where you step in.
The data backs this up dramatically. Partner source deals close 46% faster than cold leads. Why? Because you get to skip the entire cold pitch, trust-building phase. When an agency owner introduces you to their client, you aren't just some random person in an inbox. You enter the conversation with instant authority as an endorsed, specialized consultant.
And this brilliantly illustrates why it's a no-brainer for everyone involved. You offer free AI discovery calls for their clients. The agency gets a 20% revenue share on any closed deals, plus they get absolute hero status for bringing a cutting-edge AI expert to their clients with zero upfront cost. In exchange, you get a pipeline of warm leads and that instant borrowed authority. It's a completely risk-free win-win.
Now, when you finally get on those discovery calls with these warm leads, you need a quick way to identify their bottlenecks. Just ask them this exact question. If 300 new clients sign tomorrow, what process breaks first? I guarantee they will run the scenario in their head and immediately tell you their biggest operational constraint. Boom! You now know exactly what workflow you need to automate for them.
Let's move to the final piece of the puzzle and see how this all builds together so you can launch this today.
This brings us to Section 4, the 4-step roadmap. But before we lay out the final steps, we really have to address a fatal mistake almost all beginners make.
There is a stark difference between the amateur and the winner here. The amateur way is to spend weeks or even months building an elaborate system in total isolation and then trying to sell it. By the time they finally launch, they realize nobody actually wants what they built. That's a hobby, not a business. The winner's way totally flips the script. Sell, then build. You have to use your outreach as market research. Pitch the concept first, validate the market. If people bite, then you go and build it.
So here is the final blueprint to tie the whole shebang together. Step 1, offer first. Create an offer around a specific outcome you know for sure you can deliver. Step 2, validate with volume. Send those 100 messages a day and adjust your messaging based on the data until you secure your first clients. Step 3, deliver and document. Get your baseline metrics, over-deliver on the results, and create a rock-solid case study of that after state. Then ask for those referrals. Finally, Step 4, scale with authority. Take those case studies and leverage the Trojan horse method to partner with agencies, turning one single success into an entire pipeline of warm leads.
So I'll leave you with this. What's the one automated workflow you could pitch tomorrow that would make a client say yes on the spot? That all for today? If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.